massive factor. We do go into Champion Select, and we do see the Kindred, but not the Nidalee ban by V5.
Yeah, and I just want to quickly say, before the names come up on the screen, we do have a change in the mid lane for IG. It was our last segment that we've unfortunately run out of time between the games here. Mole stepping onto IG's roster for the mid lane here, which means not only is Rookie against his old team, Mole up against his old team as well. It's an exciting one in terms of the narratives. It's the Wukong first pick here for Castle.
But this is a strange set of bans because a lot of these feel more targeted and a lot of things are left open. The Wukong available, the Renata, which we've seen quite consistently banned away in recent series, is going to be there. No AD carry bans apart from the Zeri, which to be honest is kind of mandatory here, but we could see Renata plus Clyster, Renata Felios. They could just take the Renata and leave the other to later. It does look like they might just lean towards that Callista and lock that in now.
Certainly could be an option for them. It's a strong 2v2 in that bottom side. Now, as we said, Shun does like to look towards that bottom lane, so a nice lane for him to try and set up in that early game final advantage for IG. It's just going to be hovered for now, then unsure whether they want to commit to the pick. But over to the side of V5 here.
I feel like it might have been planned as well, because if I think of two champions which really shut down Clyster, they banned Poppy and Talia. Both of them just make it so you can't hop, so kind of interesting that they banned those and then got the Clyster, but this does mean V5 will take the Senatom. And this is significant because even last in spring, when Senatom wasn't really as meta, Photic and PP God were playing it, and they are the best Senatom in the world. I will say with no hesitation, so fantastic on it. They've been dominating lanes. It's not just like, okay, sit back and scale. They will dominate lane if given the window. Now, this isn't exactly the easiest matchup, but I feel so confident on this. But now IG toying with the idea, and they will lock in Shun's Nidalee, something we've seen consistently banned, and it gets left open. He will lock it in.
Yeah, just for context there, 95% of the games IG have played so far, this split, it has been banned against Shun. It finally makes its way through. He's played it once so far this split. Unfortunately, has a 0% win rate on the Nidalee this split. But we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. Gangplank been banned away here by IG as they want to try and set up for a strong top lane matchup here for Zuka. Remember that Gwen still available right now.
You can see V5 kind of continue this. The Renekton ban, the set as well. Targeting these solo laners who have a lot of setup, who can sort of allow Nidalee to easily land the spears. That's what we kind of want. You want an AD solo laner, ideally, and you want people who have like CC to set up the spears. So V5 targeting those. Still, though, a lot of things open that we saw in the previous series banned away. Silas is still open. Gnar is still open and available. These picks we saw so heavily prioritized before, not really getting looked over as of yet.
For now. I just feel like V5 are confident, though, into this Nidalee, as you say. Here's it. Take it away from Rookie, removing some scaling. That Fiora taken off of the board. Does mean Gwen is available. So Rich may be feeling confident to go up against this Gwen. But we'll see whether IG are going to opt into that Gwen pickup, whether that's something they want on their comp.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, is that essentially you typically want just something that pairs well with the Nidalee, but I feel like a lot of those options are restricted. This is one of the reasons we don't see teams generally play Nidalee. At the moment, the meta is super favorable, and IG will go for that Gnar in the end. So if you have the Mega, it does work fantastically well, but otherwise just kind of a safe line, and it does mean Mole will get counter pick. We'll see what V5 offer from return. Silas is available. And honestly, Silas would be pretty good here. Some good ults to steal away. I think that might just be the play.
Yeah, I mean, Silas feels pretty good in every draft at the minute, honestly. Like, Silas just feels like an incredibly strong mid laner, and for Rookie as well.
He's like, either good or he's great. And that feels like how it is.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, you know, Rookie and mid laner that is more than confident in bringing that Silas to the forefront. That would be an exciting lock-in for Rich in the top side as well. Does well into the Gnar. And it means, look at the carries here for the side of V5. Look how aggressive this composition can be.
Yeah, so much dive potential. And then it's kind of similar to the comp we saw earlier today, where they have all these dive threats. Ascetic can ult on top. Tom Kench can go in as well. A lot of strong melees. And looking at what IG can do in response, I think the Galio honestly could work here. You need to get that early momentum. The CC setup as well does mean that you can land those easy spears. So Mole might just be trying to play the map on the back of this one, and they will lock it in. I feel like here IG really need that early momentum. It's a given if you have a Nidalee, but like Kalista, Nidalee, Galio, and the fact that it's this volatile match up top, if IG don't get the ball rolling early, I think it's just going to be a rough one.
Yeah, this could end up being brutal. We'll have to wait and see. But that said, that goes two ways, right? If Mole can find these roams, if Shun can find a lead, if Arn can get ahead, maybe there's an opportunity for IG to just snowball out of control. They are up against the best team in the LPL right now, though. It's going to be a mountain for them to climb, but they have literally locked a mountain in that mid lane. And I love that Mole consistently throughout his career, he's an exceptional Zoe, he's an exceptional Syndra, he's an exceptional laner in that mid lane. Even things like the Nico to try and bully that lane. But consistently, what we've seen from him when he was on V5, when he was on WE, and now on IG, we see him playing for the team on things like this Galio. So it's exciting to see how this team is going to change with him on this roster, as opposed to Yokai, how that's going to change things up.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting aspect. I know one caster in particular is obviously incredibly hyped about Mole. You should have heard how many times that Lyric has talked about him. Lyric even has an EU account that we play TFT together on, and it's called IG Mole. So, I know he's going to enjoy this series because V5 is one of his favorite teams, and Mole is his favorite player, and we get to see them showdown against each other.
Yeah. And also, he has a bunch of plushies that sit behind him when he's casting. They are all named after Mole. They just have different nicknames that Mole has. So, yeah. He's not just a fan. I would go as far as a minor obsession.
Obsessive, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. But if you're just joining us, we've got an exciting one ahead of you right now. It's V5 right at the top of the table against IG in 16th. But forget about the standings, right? Because we've got Rookie versus his old team. We've got Mole versus his old team. And Rookie's record against IG, 2-1. Positive, but only just won out that series. Mole, however, 2-0 so far, up over V5 since he left that organization when he was on WE. So all I'm saying is, maybe Mole's the favorite.
Maybe. And what I do like is he's gone for the Ignite here, which I feel like gives a lot of power in the 2v2. One of the big things with the Sylas is the healing and those extended skirmishes. Sylas, Wukong, very hard to kill either of them because Wukong's so slippery and Sylas has the healing. So IG trying to solidify that. But we see V5 going for that early invade. Definitely a way to set the Nidalee behind by stealing away some of these camps, and no real information to tell us from here. Maybe they see them coming back from that side of the lane. Yeah, I think because they're late to lane and they have a ward down on the red, they might just assume that some shenanigans have gone on.
Yeah, the red's still available there. You could see it on the red ward from the side of IG. So they should have a reasonable amount of information to deduce that V5 went for the early invade, tried to split the map. You see Sean going for the Krugs. Wouldn't be too surprised to see him start to move over towards Caster's blue buff. We've seen creative pathing from Caster before. Whether or not that actually turns into just an even trade, I don't know. I'm not sure Sean realizes he's going for his chickens as well.
I think the bot lane wouldn't be playing this aggressive if they thought that maybe there could be a Wukong right behind them. I don't think they have the information. We'll see. We'll see what Shun does from here. Ultimately, I do like the invade regardless. I like the invade for V5 because you essentially stop the Nidalee from invading yourself if you're just splitting the map, if you're keeping away. And I think now is going to be the point where Shun might find out, might get that information. And this is kind of a response, right? Shun looking for the invade is kind of the standard on the Nidalee. Still unclear as to how much information he's working with, but he is going to try and contest his red.
Yeah, he's going to give it a go. Caster's here, though. Level 3 for both. Mole moving over. He wants to make sure his jungler can be as aggressive as he wants to. Blast cone from Caster. He moves around the red, circumventing the players. IG. Are they going to actually dive this? This would be dangerous. 3 minions still there, though. They can make the play. Photic low on HP, hit by a spear. Shun goes in underneath the tower. There's one kill. IG looking for a second, looking to start in style, but denied. 1-for-1 now as Rookie tries to answer.
Yeah, so 1-for-1, and importantly enough, the Senna dies, but the Senna isn't the one farming. Normally, when you see an AD carry get dove and they die, it's so painful if they miss a big wave. But essentially, Rookie's going to be able to pick it up there. Not too much of pain. And now Shun finally gets the news, even throws the spear, but the blue isn't there. And suddenly he realizes, yep, Caster stole away my blue and my Grump. And I think at this point, with Carson now moving over to that side of the map, he knows there isn't really much he can do in response.
Yeah, Carcer will be able to go for that top scuttle and then path downwards. That red buff that Shun tried to invade earlier on, still currently there, is IG stacking up in Tribrush, and Shun is moving over. They want to get a little creative. Oh, Photic, you're playing with fire here, mate. Don't walk towards that Tribrush.
Yeah, I think they might just go for the red invade. Bear in mind, they just saw Carson. He still didn't have the red, so they can assume that it wasn't done. And Shun needs this, by the way. They need to either make a play happen or steal away a camp, because none of his camps were up and available at the time, which is like the worst position to be in a jungle if there's nothing you can do on the map. But here, picks up the red, can move over to the Raptors. And as much as it probably didn't pan out quite like you'd want, you're still kind of okay in this situation. But Carcer, avoiding the early threat of the Nidalee for the most part, can be happy with how his plan went.
Yeah, honestly, the fact that he's like even in CS, not died or anything like that, he's okay with this one. Shun did grab that kill though in the bottom side, right? He got the kill onto Photic, so it will be Shun slightly ahead in the jungle, and I feel like that's a great position for Shun to be in. We talk about how he's the carry often for IG from that jungle role. He's the star player. Well, he's set up for success with that early kill. He's going to be able to hopefully find some threat, and I'm going to be keeping my eyes on where he goes next, whether he can find more.
We've had so many shenanigans on the bot side. We haven't really had a chance to talk about this top lane matchup, and this can be a super volatile one because, you know, typically the Irelia is picked into the Gnar because when he's in mini, you can get on top of him, burst him down, dash, you know, multiple times to the minions. With the durability changes, that's why Gnar's been so high prior. It is harder to punish the mini Gnar, but really if either lane is set like heavily in one direction, it can become painful, but neither jungler really putting too much attention up there. Now Carcer has snuck into this bot lane. Not sure if they'll look for anything though.
Kind of interesting to see how much Photic has been CSing this game. I know it's something that maybe only Sen and mains care about, but 13 CS in the first 5 minutes is extremely high for a fast acceler. Usually you don't see any CS in the first few minutes of the game, so Photic really not too worried about the soul drop rate, I suppose, for the time being. Carcer going to sneak into... Oh, the double knockup from PP. God, in comes Carcer as well. On, slowed down, ignited, burning through. One more auto, but he survives. He walks away, and Carcer's time is wasted. Whereas Rich is in all kinds of trouble. He's dashing around the top side, getting the resets on his Q, but there's only so much he can do.
That looked flashy, but it didn't really change the fate. One thing to say, though, he cleared a lot of minions on the back of that, whereas On is missing a bunch here, and so will be a bit more punishing in that regard. But we said the top lane matchup can really be volatile. Rookie wasn't able to make it there in time, wasn't able to steal away the Galio ult either, but he will try and play a little bit aggressive here to force Shun away from the Skull Crab. But there's two people there. Yeah, I think you just have to give that one up.
Rich is pushing that top side, but I think, yeah, they back away in the end. And I just want to quickly mention, Orcs, IG almost 1,000 gold up in this early game. They are having a phenomenal time of it against the best team in the league. They're 1-7 in the standings right now, but Shun gets Nidalee, and everything's looking pretty dandy off the back of it.
And I said they needed momentum. They do need to continue that, though. You know, the goal lead is nice, but the further this game goes on, the less relevant it will be. So hopefully looking at Shun to find more angles. Now, Rich could be in trouble here. Oh, this is not good.
He's in big trouble. Mega Gnar hit. That's going to be a flash, but slammed into the wall. Sets up for the Nidalee. Shun with his hat trick, and everything is looking good for IG.
Oh, and look at the wave as well. This is so painful. This is just going to push into Zuka, making him miss so many CS. The Nidalee is not a good spot. Carcer's looking.
Knock up onto our no summoners in this bottom side. Okay, a trade here. Positive for V5. A much needed positive after how this jungle matchup is going.
Yeah, it kind of feels like IG just making a point of bullying out Rich, putting him behind, getting Shun ahead, but Arn has lost a lot on the bot side in return. Carcer managing to find that pick. Gold, only about 500 apart. We'll get the replay. And yeah, the fact it's Mega Gnar being hit, the fact that Nidalee is like behind you, and Rich tries to go in a bit too aggressively here. Clearly doesn't have the information, and with the wave state, he wants to try and clear out the wave and get it to push in, but as soon as Mega is hit, there's not really much you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like even flashing there perhaps was overzealous. Perhaps maybe you need to go towards the opposite side of the play, trying to escape out that side in the lane. I don't know.
I think he was maybe hoping that he was far enough that like he wouldn't get slammed in the wall, but like it was just enough to get him into it. So little bit unfortunate. And something you were talking about before was the CSing on the Senna. One thing to note is that not too long ago, you know, I'm going to hold that thought. We have a Herald going on. This can come later.
Yeah, let's talk about Set of Souls once the game quiets down, because right now V5 stacked up, and Zika just hit Mininar, slammed against the wall by Rookie and forced out of the play. Mole is here though, happy to frontline. As Shun goes in, the smite taken by, I think it was Rich actually that got the kill in the end. Carsa backing away, Rookie on the front line, but should be able to dash over the wall. And IG will find nothing, but hey, blue buff spawning. At least there's a consolation prize.
Yeah, I think Shun tried to get the execute and didn't quite get it. I think Cast just smited away and then Rich grabbed it. But the other side, PP God on the Tom Kench. Obviously, you know, he's the one farming, so he's the one who stays bot. But he just takes the plates for himself. And this is going to be a big frog. I'll say that much. But Mole in trouble, maybe?
Photic moving up to help Rookie in the mid lane. Mole low on HP. Shun is here, though, and Shun is big. Rookie flashes. Root onto Shun. There's not much damage out from Photic just yet. This is too early in the game. Shun definitely has damage. My God.
I don't think Photic was ready for that. I'm going to be real. I wasn't ready for that either. Yeah, the burst damage from the Nidalee, 4-0. I said, like, this is a pick that more than anything, Nidalee needs momentum, and Shun absolutely has it now. He's going to be able to turn it onto that dragon and secure that one. A little bit late for the first dragon of the game, but definitely something you'll take, and it's important. If you're playing a comp like IG's, you want to be stacking dragons up towards the soul and putting that pressure on a V5.
It's unbelievable. I mean, Shun, he is one of the best Nidalees in the world. It's as simple as that. It's one of his most played, 65% win rate. Let me just hit you with a stat real quick. His average KDA on Nidalee over 17 professional games is 6.14. That is insane, and he's showing us why today.
Yeah, and I think as well, the fact that, being real, IG, since Shun's been on, hasn't been necessarily the best performing team, but when he's on Nidalee, he's just a different beast. And I love that the team knows that when he picks Nidalee, you need lanes that can set up. They went into those now. Herald's going to be thrown down top and try and get some gold for Rich, but Rich is actually just getting run down.
Yeah, he is not having a fun time in this matchup, and here comes the entire gang once again, and should literally last hit that with an auto attack to grab his 5th kill of the game. 500 gold bounty on Shun at 11 minutes. That is mind-melting right here. 5 versus 2 in the kill score. IG only just ahead in gold in the grand scheme of things, but Shun individually, he's, I don't know, he's on otherworldly levels of gold lead.
Yeah, buff Night Harvester as well with the extra ability haste, but just the fact that you have that so early, the proc damage going to be a real pain, and the ability to burst, honestly, anyone who's out of position and gets set up on. So IG in a really good spot so far. Definitely still potential for V5 in this one. And it's just kind of this movement coming in. We see Wink, Shun, and Mole working together. And this has been something that's been really nice. You know, Mole hasn't been playing for the roster for the majority of the split. He comes in, and him and Shun really look like they're working well together.
Mole trying to set up for a play here as Zika moves in as well. Rookie, though, steals the Nara ultimate. Karsa trying to survive flashes. Shun chases. Smite comes out to keep Karsa alive. Dawning Shadow for the shield. Shun can't quite finish the kill, but he turns back into Cougar form and takes a bite out of the monkey. It's going to be more advantages for IG. They're against the best team in the league. It's 12 minutes in. They've got themselves a gold lead. They've got themselves 6 kills on an Nidalee. And they've got themselves an unbelievable way to start a series.
I feel like Karsa's going to have nightmares about that moment. Just being chased down by Shun, unable to get away. And now Rookie, he can't walk up here.
No, Rookie, no chance of defending this tower. Maybe can clear the wave after the fact, but Mole wants to set up for a kill. Rookie dodges the taunt. Here comes Karsa. This is not a 2v2 that Rookie and Karsa can win, though. Oh my days, that was close.
I'm just nervous about the second that one of these spears connects. Just the ability to burst in. Unfortunately, Mole doesn't connect the taunt, but Karsa, that's not your jungle anymore.
Yeah, Karsa does not get to play at all this game, and you can see there are some statistics. It's very impressive. I don't really know what it means, Orcs. I can't read it, but it looks like Shun's doing well on the Nidalee. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and considering, you know, Karsa came in with a creative strategy for the level 1 to avoid being invaded on, and it just feels like it just didn't do enough. And now Karsa, he can't be in his own jungle. Oh, Rookie's dead here for sure.
Mole, so proactive as Shun. 7-0. This is a monster performance from IG and from IG's superstar jungler Shun. And what a way to do it. They see Rookie on the other side of the scoreboard, and they're like, you're going to regret leaving this organization, my friend. It's 2-1 in favor of Rookie in the Rookie versus IG matchup. And IG really want to make that 2-2.
And I feel like we get some of this. We had some in spring. We're having some in summer. Just games where teams opt to leave the Nidalee Open and are like quickly reminded why. It's like, just take the ban. Just take the L. One ban, but don't have to deal with this. That being said, you know, it's definitely not over yet. The goal difference is pretty low. Like 1,600, considering there's a 7-0 Nidalee, isn't the highest. And you can kind of see, you know, that tower going down bot. The fact there's lots of plates taken top is definitely a contributing factor.
Yeah, and, you know, it's one of those things. Oh, hang on. Rich dodges the handshake. No, pulled back in, but maybe can go for the 2v1 because he is Aurelia at the end of the day. Oh, the hostile takeover at the last possible second. Arn still had that heal. He held that. And that was very brave, but they just about get the kill.
Yeah, close to the wire, I'm going to be real, but Rich, unfortunately, put very heavily behind 0-4 and 0 now. Not having the best game. We talked about the top lane matchup being very momentum-based. If the Aurelia can't really dive on the Gnar, he can just kind of run it down. Rich is not having a good time so far. He's got the plates. He's got a decent CS score, so it's not like he's suffering completely. But yeah, V5 in a deficit. And at 15 minutes, often we see them, you know, first in the league for leads at 15. But here sitting just under 3,000 behind, but will claim some back with that second tower.
Themselves a much needed tower there. Rich doing surprisingly well for gold, considering the fact he's 0-4, relatively even in CS, 10 CS down currently. Has that call almost finished off, but crucially got a bunch of plates. So that will help him sort of exist in this matchup. Is down in XP though, as Zika does a good job to just back away, escape over the wall here. He's about to turn Mega as well, and Rich, your time in the 1v1 is over, I'm afraid. You no longer get the 1v1. The spear damage is mind-blowing. Shun is a monster! And Photic flashes over to BB God to keep himself alive. Can they find the shutdown? They need that gold, but Zika says no. Shun trying to escape. Ignited, slowed. Can they finish him? Slammed into the wall. Shun in the bailout, but he doesn't have the damage, and Photic gets the shutdown. It's a massive moment for V5 as they go on the chase. Slows across the team. Zika will be rooted, and Karsa is there chasing on through. 2 for Photic now as Karsa arrives in the fray. Knockups galore. Mole trying to protect his team, but On is stuck over the wall, and Photic gets his third of the fight. There's one for Rookie, and there's a second as well. V5, it all looked doomed, but they're down and never out.
Huge team fight coming on then. Initially, it just looked like they're like, right, we'll get the shutdown on the Nidalee, and that'll be enough, but they take so much more. Team fighting excellent. Rookie juggling in and out again, not letting himself be focused, and then PP God with a fantastic eat, and Karsa coming in on the end, and just like that, the goal swings so heavy. You know, Shun comes in, and this spear is honestly fantastic. He waits till the minion wave is nearly there, so Rich thinks maybe the minion will block it. Super well, super good precision on that one. Well aimed. But the problem is now Shun is in this position where it's like, okay, how do I get out? Good spear on a Photic, but can't take him out. And now IG are 4. So like, this is 1,000 gold bounty. This is our fed jungler. We have to try and save him, but unfortunately Shun uses the stopwatch as Zika ult. The timing really unfortunate. And then as soon as he goes down, V5 are like, right, we can just keep chasing here. We have the slows from the center.
And then we see the reinforcements from Mole, but Karsa's doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. You get the kill onto Zika before Mole can arrive, and then with the CC coming out across Karsa. Like, in a small choke like that, Wukong with his clone is so valuable. It's so easy to get a 5-man knock up there, and the rest is history. An ace for V5, and just when everything was looking so good for IG. You know, Shun still got 8 kills. He's still 8-1. He's still an absolute monster. But at the end of the day, what looked like basically a 1 game for IG is now a terrifying prospect.
I just find it mind-blowing how much damage Shun did when, like, he threw 2 spears and that was basically out the fight, and he still did as much damage as Photic, who was just like autoing the whole time.
I mean, he did 5k damage, right? His Q, the spear that landed onto Rich did over 500 damage, and then the ferocious bite that also finished Rich off did about 500 damage. So that's a fifth of it for the fight right at the very start before the fight really even began. But yeah, mental damage. And 2 Night Harvests actually picked up. IG Mole going for the Night Harvester Galio here.
An interesting one, honestly. Typically, we see, you know, Everfrosters be good to lay SCC. Even like Protobalt was the old school. But Night Harvester did get buffed, that extra ability haste. But still a bit of an interesting one coming out. Regardless, though, V5 have found momentum. They used the Herald in the mid lane to get that tower. They feel a lot more confident in how their team fights will go. You can see Photic, thanks to extra gold, you know, he has managed to finish 2 full items, plus got a crit cloak on top of it. So really pushing the pace of the game on quite a bit. And now we have Dragon in a minute. I feel like V5 will want to get the hands on it, because if there's something you don't want to be facing, it's those Nidalee Spears with Infernal Soul tacked on the end.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. But I'm not sure that IG still have the same level of control they had before, right? They got the first 2 Drakes with really no hiccups. But now V5 have themselves a gold lead. They're 2,000 gold. That is such a ridiculous gold swing, by the way. The gold graph at the end of this game is going to be mind-bending, because V5, I think they were 3k down before. They're now 2k up. That's a 5,000 gold swing at about, I would guess, the 17-minute mark there. But they now have the ability to push in and get control of this Drake area. 20 seconds until that comes up. I'm not sure IG will be able to contest.
Yeah, it's really hard. You ideally want to land some poke down. But with V5, they have the sustain of the center. Like poke on a Tom Kench, you can just block it. And then he has his own sustain from the Grey Health. So it's very difficult to approach. They do have Mega for the Gnar, but I don't think it's going to be an easy one. Ideally, Shun starts to connect some spears, and they manage to get a pick. But look at Cast and Rookie fishing for an opportunity.
Yeah, they want to find Zika on the top side of the fight. There goes Mole's ultimate. That's such a huge cooldown. And Rookie walks away scot-free. Has the Gnar ultimate available as well as a root comes out onto Zika. That's a lot of healing from Photic. Loses half his health, gets it all back on, uses the Fate's Call. That's 2 massive teamfight ultimates out from IG now, and V5 haven't even committed just yet. They still have that sustain. Rookie, no hijack available though.
Yeah, but they did wait out the Mega Gnar, so now is a good time to make things happen. You can see the confidence growing. They got to be cautious about those spears. And they are taking it slowly. But look at Rookie. You might have found something.
Oh, Rookie's damage onto Zika. That's a huge ult from Rich as well, but he can't quite go in. Dawning Shadow is there. Rich has the stack saved by PP God. They're trying to buy space to go for the Drake instead. In they go. The Drake resets, but it's taken by Photic. A little bit of healing. Denied the smite from Casa, but it's enough. And now Mole goes for a taunt, but denied. Taken out immediately. Rookie with a hostile takeover of his own, and Shun will fall once more. V5, they are indomitable. They are inevitable. It felt like they were behind in this one, but not for very long, because Rookie, he's got that Silas. He's got a triple kill. He got a double earlier, and he'd love to make it more as well. But I don't think Zika should go down for now.
Yeah, but they can just head straight over to the Baron, not only to deny the Dragon and get the team fight win, but the big purple worm will be theirs as well. And I just feel like V5 pilot their fight exactly as they want it to go. They like go back and forth, they force these cooldowns, going in and out as a unit, and then as soon as they're like, right, this is the time for us to actually fight, they just completely roll over IG.
Brutalized, absolutely brutalized. And look at the gold difference now as the Baron goes down. That will jump in favor of V5. It's now 5,000. We talked about the 5,000 gold lead for IG just, what, 10 minutes ago? And now it's completely flipped on its head. A brutal state of the game for IG and a heartbreaking way to fall behind.
Absolutely. I feel like so much good work was done, but like you make one flub as the Nidalee, so much catch-up is made, the big gold bounties, and we see the replay here. So much was burned before this, and then Rookie goes in with a hostile takeover, starts channeling the ult, and then unfortunately for Mole, he gets caught in it immediately, bursted out. We also see just the rest of the team caught. Wink isn't able to get away, and V5 just charged forward. Zika had actually gone for a reset and TP'd back in, and when he wasn't there, that was the window IG ended up getting collapsed on.
When V5 can just play as, you know, 5, ironically, they're just,
whoa,
they're unbelievable. It's kind of mind-blowing to watch this team fight. And now they've given up on Souls. Photic just CSing at this point. He's up to 65 now. I feel like Photic, definitely a lot less respect for the Fasting Center than a lot of other teams have. I feel like he's got to the mid-game point and he's like, you know what? I could get Souls from fighting at this point. I want gold.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is that they did. This was what I was trying to mention earlier. Not too long ago, up the farming center soul rate, and there we get a fight.
Knock up onto Photic here. There's a taunt down from Mole as well. PP God saves him. Karsa might have to be sacrificed, but he gets over the wall and keeps himself alive. Shun low on HP, trying to escape. Rich knocked up, tanking on the front line. Dawning Shadow for the shield, but he's taken down anyway. In the meantime, Rookie has found Zika on the top side of the play. IG's health bars are low, and Photic is firing on all cylinders. In goes Karsa to chase them down. On burning away with the red buff. PP God gets a slow. Onto Wink. On will fall. Wink will fall. And V5 find yet another fight for themselves. The recall out from PP God, from Mole. I think he will get away with this one, actually.
Will do.
Mole escapes, but at the end of the day, it's just a consolation prize.
Still another huge team fight from V5, and it feels like, Joe, as soon as I start mentioning Center Souls, a fight starts. Like, the
Yeah.
second...
Tell me about Souls, man. Tell me about Souls. I want to know.
There we go. There we get the replay. So we don't get it again. I mean, essentially, this was a good attempt from IG. They have to look for an opportunity like this. They get the CC layering, but sadly, PP God eats the center away. And you can see that massive shield, hard to follow up on. And Rich gets this big ult, goes in super aggressive, does end up paying for it. But, like, look at Rookie at the top of your screen. Steals the Gnar ultimate and just, like, nukes the Gnar. Look at that damage. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, Rookie just absolutely mauling Zika this game on the Silas. So good on the pick. And then, you know, the health bars are so low. The rest of it is just a chase down. This could be our small opportunity, Orcs. Tell me about the set of souls. I'm desperate to know.
They recently buffed the souls you get from farming center quite significantly. And we didn't really see the return of farming center. But I think it means, like, in these situations, you actually get a decent amount more value from farming than you did before. So that might make sense as to why Photic is picking up a bit more CS, getting that gold later on. Yeah, that was all I wanted to say for the entire game. But we finally got there.
I'll be honest, a little anticlimactic. I thought it was more exciting than that. But you know what? It's good. It's cool. We're seeing the evolution of Fasting Center, I suppose. 20 seconds until Drake comes up. V5 saying, you know what? We're not that bothered about Drake right now. We want to find ourselves a prehistoric Yordle instead. Knock up onto Zika. There's the root as well from Final Embrace. And well, that's that. Oh, hang on. Karsa and Rookie in the no man's territory right here. As Karsa pushed away, that's going to be a hostile takeover once again. Knockups across the team. Dawning Shadow. Everything flying in from the side of V5. Rookie survives as well. Karsa cannot die as Mole turns golden is taken down by Photic.
Look at PP God go.
PP God just wanders underneath the tower. He knows he's invincible. Wink realizes that it is all over. Photic with a triple kill as Rookie pushes the wave in mid. And Karsa can go sweep up the Drake. Oh, Shun, bit of revenge. Nah, it's not happening. That's his old buddy. He can't take them.
He was looking for it, but I think he knows if he dives in, there's actually a chance it gets turned around. That's how scary the Silas is if he catches the stun. And then we see V5 just starting to hammer away at the base of IG. For a game that started so rough, they have very quickly turned this one on its head.
I feel like we saw Shun and Rookie looking at each other there in the mid lane, and it was like Obi-Wan and Anakin. You know, Rookie's his master. He trained him. He was the guy. And Rookie has the high ground. He may look like he's low on HP, but he has the high ground. He's like, don't try it. And Shun, he keeps his limbs for today. For
now. Yeah, we'll see just a replay of Zuka getting caught out here. I feel like PP God, you know, we talk a lot about the Centaur and how V5's bot lane best in the world at it. PP God always so creative at finding opportunities to get the W off. Because I feel like if anyone sees it coming, quite often you can dodge it away, but he fishes for opportunities where, you know, people won't be expecting it. And then we see the replay here. Kind of funny. The ultimate coming out from the Renata, not that impactful. And then Rookie having stole it makes a much bigger difference connecting onto On.
The roots following up, and I mean, the rest is just chased down. In the meantime, on the live map, IG get a moment's reprieve to clear some waves to try and buy some space because Baron is about to spawn. And I don't know if IG will be able to survive another fight. Honestly, this game is breaking my brain, Orcs, because I'm so used to V5 being a losing team, right? My brain says IG versus V5, this should be IG winning, but I feel like the rosters have completely swapped around.
Yeah, I mean, literally when you look at the mid laners, but yeah, definitely. Oh, Rookie's looking.
Mole caught out here, but will survive for now. Rookie has to back away from that one. Big damage out from the Ren. The spear goes wide, though, from Shun and Zika. Low on HP. Will survive for now. As V5, they can just do this all day. That's the thing. It's Silas that's low. He has that Kingslayer. He's also got Photic on the center for healing. Rich tries to find the engage with the flashes. Keep Wink safe. Zika goes in. Here comes the Galio as well, but Photic is just chilling on the side of the fight. Not a care in the world. Rich in the middle of everyone, flailing around with his blades. That's going to be the end of IG on this one, I fear, as V5, they've already broken the base in the top side, on dancing around, but Cast has got a little staff with his name on it. Shun as well tries to escape, but PP God will not let him get away. There's a nice little knock-up, and one final kill for Rich to make sure that he has a positive KDA at the end of things. 24 kills in 29 minutes. Domination from V5 after a disastrous early game.
Yeah, Rich definitely hit the KDA's hit a bit after that one, but they came in the team fights and ultimately Shun, despite the early momentum, despite the Nidalee pick, it just doesn't carry forward. And this is kind of the reason why we've seen this pick fall off a bit, because you need to get such